Hey guys. So as you can see, some changes have been made since the last video. I dropped the motor in. Figured there wasn't much point in filming that, just putting a few bolts in. I also changed out the rear end. I decided that since this is technically my practice bike, that I wanted to save all the new parts for my race bike, because that one is all stripped down. We're gonna get some alterations done on the frame and repowder it, and then we're gonna rebuild that. And I've got new parts for that. So the other thing I didn't like is the LSR swing arm. The mount for the shock is farther back. So after looking at it, looking at the geometry, and we looked at how the airbox was hitting, I saw that because that lower mount on the shock was so far back, there's really, I don't think I could run the OEM airbox, because the angle as it compresses, it's just gonna crush into the bottom part of the box. So I just basically did a full rear end swap. My ISF swing arm, everything else is the same. Really just a swing arm changed. So, and the other thing I looked at was I wanted to try to run the rear reservoir up to the front frame rail here, but because of the way the fittings are on this one, it was going to hit the intake. So I flipped the shock back around. For this I run, if you want a clean setup, of course if you're building an OEM 250R, you have the reservoir mount on the side, but for an LSR frame you don't. So I run just an Elka reservoir mount, and the axis reservoir diameter is smaller than the Elka. So what I do is I just take a silicone tube, cut strips, and shim it that way, and that's worked fine. You know, once you get it tightened down, it won't move. So what else? Let's see. Throttle cable's hooked up. One of the issues I was having with this is a Mikuni TMX carburetor from CR250, I believe, and Rob Selby likes to use these because he can get everything to tune really well. The thing I didn't like about it was the spring was way too stiff, and in my Kean carbs I have an ultralight spring. Literally, that thing's super, you can hardly even feel it. But this one, I felt like it was too much pull, and my hand kept slipping on the grip, and I'd have to keep repositioning. So what I did is I took the spring out, put it on a pencil, and put it on the belt sander, and just let the spring spin. And I was careful about it, and then I cut about 2 coils off of it, and then re-stretched it. And now I probably cut that pull in half. So it feels really nice now. I don't think I'll have any issues. Definitely excited to run it now with that modification. So we're kind of all hooked up here. I got the radiator lines, coolant lines all hooked up. I installed the brake lines, and we'll go over brake bleeding in another video. What else did I do? I still have to do the alignment on the front, so we'll do that. The next video, what I'm going to do is put the electronics in and kind of button some things up, tighten some things down, but we're getting pretty close here. I'm excited to get the fenders on and the graphics. I'll show you guys how to cut the fenders, show you how to do graphics, and yeah, we should have this thing wrapped up pretty soon. So stay tuned for the next one, and I'm going to try to keep these videos a little bit shorter. All right, guys, see you later.